There we are, live. So I assume that we've had the ability to live stream broadcast from mobile for a bit. I just have not used it. But I did see the notification that we can live stream from laptop/desktop on Substack now. So I decided this was a good opportunity to test the camera in my relatively new laptop. I have a separate camera, but I'm not bothering with it right now because I wanna see what this does. Let's say I take the laptop on the go and, I don't wanna lug all that with me, then I need to know what's the quality of it, and of course, it is not nearly the quality of having a separate camera attached. I'm very much aware of that. Fair amount of experience with live streaming, as I said. Um, your best experience is generally going to be from your mobile device. So, all of that said, this is a test. So I look like a content creator who just woke up because kinda, yeah. The way I start my day is take care of the kitty cats. I'm a feline rescuer for those who don't know. So I fed the kennels and made my coffee. And that's where we're starting today. And I have a meeting in it's almost 9 till I have a meeting in 2 hours. This is not going to be a long broadcast. This is just test. Danielle, good morning. I wanted to see how this works since we've got this on laptop here now, so this is good. I wanted to check the quality of this camera and see how Substack's live streaming looks, and so far, so good. It seems stable. Hi. Of course, I'm on my Wi-Fi at home. Um, I don't have service set up for my laptop, so if I were gonna use this, I'd need Wi-Fi somewhere else or set up a hotspot, and, yeah, I don't like to be that complex. Yeah, this is fairly new. I don't know how long they've had it on mobile, but since they now have it on the laptop and I need to use my laptop for a Teams meeting this morning, I thought this was a good idea. Just a quick intro for the I don't know, do they record theirs? This is new, so I do not know. I don't know if this stays up as a recording. But my name is Tala Smith. I live in the Inland Empire of Southern California. I am a motivational speaker and I teach quality of life with catastrophic illness and injury. My backstory is that I'm an autoimmune patient. I also have neurological conditions. I'm a heart patient, but I very much believe in not letting those things limit. I think that we are self limiting. And if there's something that you want to do with your life, you should reach for it and do the work and get those goals. I set out on the path back in 2011 after my heart diagnosis to prove my doctors wrong, and I have continued to do so ever since. So at age 52, I summited Half Dome in Yosemite, and I swore I'd never do it again, but I am now training to go back now that my brother is ready to do that because the original dream was to do that with him when I turned 40, and unfortunately that year I could not walk. So that's how we ended up here. So Danielle, this is good. I like it. It's stable. I have about 10 years of live streaming experience. Um, so I'm always curious when an app decides, or a website, I should say, decides, hey, we want to add that. I want to see what the quality is. And I will tell you, this is an important test, just movement. So you see how it's fairly smooth? We are definitely over 30 frames per second. This is important to know. We might be kind of on the edge because I notice a little bit of blur. You gain experience with that and you recognize what the quality is. And part of that could be my camera in the laptop. I don't know. I will have to test it with the external camera next. I'll probably do that next week, maybe this week. I'm so busy. So, another site where I tested it recently, I believe, is under 30 frames per second. And the live streaming community is mature at this point. We all have experience on the high-end platforms, and if you want to attract people for live streaming, you can't function at under 30 frames per second. It's choppy. It doesn't look good. People want to show scenery, for example. It needs to look like you're there looking at it. It needs to be close to that. A little blurriness when your signal drops, that's one thing. But if it always looks like it's an old time movie and it's choppy, that's not gonna draw people in. So that is my expertise for the day on the topic. I think Substack is doing a good thing if this is how we started. I like it, right? Uh, so I'm a content creator and working with a team on a new website/app, and we're progressing. It's uh when you have a small team, there's a lot of work for a small number of people. So there's a lot going on. Um, I can't say a lot about it. When you're working on something new like this, there's always non-disclosure agreements and stuff. So there's that. But if you've seen my new AI generated content, that's where that's coming from. And I'm very happy with a lot of that. What I've learned is this though. Um, when it comes to AI generation, there's a failure rate. You can write the best prompt in the world. You can get assistance from an LLM and, you can have prior experience and completely know what you're doing, and there's still a failure rate. So, part of the reason I say that is because everybody's starting to experiment. There's people who they don't know anything about it or much about it. I came into it with just a little bit of knowledge, and it can be discouraging when you start off. So I guess that's my encouragement of the day. We're deviating from the usual health topics. Um, as a creator, you have to be your own best friend, your own cheerleader, your own motivator, all those things, because everybody is figuring this out. But don't get discouraged to the point where you decide you don't want to do it anymore just because things don't go perfectly at the outset. So I spent 2 solid weeks just getting a basic grasp of how to write a prompt. And there's resources out there. You can draw on resources, you can research it. I wanted to see what would happen as someone with very minimal instruction. Beta testing, that's what you do, right? So I was able to demonstrate 0 knowledge, how fast do I progress? I wouldn't call myself exactly a spectacular learner. Um, I have disadvantages. I have dyslexia. I don't let it stop me, but it is an influence. So that's important to know. So within maybe 3 weeks, I felt sort of competent. Um, I would say it took a month before I was really confident. That's yeah. So we're at well, actually, we're at 2 months now, I guess. So I've lost track of time, but it does take time to develop an understanding of how to communicate with a system like that. And so the bottom line is this: no matter how good you get, there's going to be a failure rate. So um, take the lemons that life is throwing at you in that situation and make lemonade, because blooper reels are hilarious. Don't throw out the bad generations. Save them in a file. You're going to want them later. That's what I'm doing. And I will be posting those. I'm going to make a blooper reel because, look, at 2 a.m. when you're tired, that's really what you want, is to be able to look at it and laugh. And I have had a few times that I laughed until I was crying. So you need that. Um, it relieves the stress. Bloopers are great, aren't they? Gotta have those, so I'll be working on that soon because I am, dialing down the number of hours at this point, because they got a lot of stuff to square away, um, and I need to take care of my body. I am in physical therapy. I did sit too many hours at one point trying to hammer out some things that I needed to understand, and as a result, I kinda screwed up my neck. That's not why I'm in PT, I'm always in and out of PT, but at the same time, I can't afford to trash my body, and in fact, I'm gonna be on, the indoor farmer, Waylon, I'm gonna be on his We Grow Wednesday, this evening. I'm trying to remember what time he does that, but I'm supposed to be on there with him. And we were gonna kinda touch on that topic, so far as I know, still are, um, taking care of your health while you are doing this kind of work. You would think that working at home would be, like, easier to take care of your body, but here's the thing, it's actually easier to forget because if you're in a workplace, I know from my past experience, sitting at a desk somewhere that you're regulated by OSHA and all of these other things, you're required to take breaks. You're required to take a lunch break, and it has to be a certain amount of time per the hours you work. At home, you may not necessarily remind yourself, "Oh, I've been sitting here for 2 hours. I should get up and move," which for me should be pretty easy considering my speed bag is up there. So I try to remind myself to get up and punch, get up and walk, refill the coffee if it's early enough, that kind of thing. If you don't take care of your body, you won't even be able to sit at a desk. I know from personal experience, that was my past, right? I talk about how I couldn't walk at one point, but let's talk about how I couldn't sit. Even at home, sitting was agonizing. So at that point, I was living on my floor, really, um, crawling in my own home just to get to the bathroom and things like that. It was yeah, my body was wrecked in 2006, it was bad. So that's what I've recovered from. Every time I think about, like, am I doing enough with the things that I wanna do, hiking and, I haven't summited Mount Baden Powell in 2 seasons, mm, I didn't do it this year, I didn't do it last year, well, there were fires. I gotta do it next year. I gotta get back at it. I gotta start hiking even though it's winter, I gotta start, that's why I'm in PT, so I can do that again. You know, but looking back, my starting point was a wheelchair to get in and out of doctor appointments. So the fact that I'm on my feet at all, I have a tremendous amount of gratitude for just being able to walk, and most people don't they don't think about that. It's the most efficient human process for people who are able to walk is walking. That's easy. It's very efficient. The body's designed for that movement. So in order for us to stay fit, we have to do more than that. Walking is underrated. I get that, but we have to do more than that. Um, so I would say remember to get up and move. Remember to breathe. Breathe deeply. Learn diaphragmatic breathing. Utilize those little features and functions of the human body to the best of your ability because I realized this year when I found out I was hypermobile, I'm not. Like, I didn't even fully understand diaphragmatic breathing. Oops, because I didn't know the diaphragm is dome-shaped like this, and it pulls down when you inhale. I didn't know that. I got a 5th grade education. What do I know? People are always like, "No." So, self-educated, I didn't study a whole lot about biology. Disease process, yes. Nutrition, yes. Some of the other basics, but, I'm just now learning how things like the heart and the lungs function. And I wanna know more about it. So, again, I'm self-educating. So those little things, when you understand it, help. As a hypermobile individual, the problem is that I don't automatically engage the correct muscles the right way. In physical therapy, I have to ask my PTs to explain it. Show me on a chart, what does this muscle look like? Tell me what it does, and tell me what it should feel like, make sure that I'm engaging it. That's what I do now. So, um, if you may not have ever, maybe you never thought about it either, now's a good time to start thinking about it. Yeah. Yep. And I gotta go soon too. Thank you for dropping in. It was good to see you. Sometime I'll have to have you on here since I saw that you can invite guests. I want to do that. Right. Okay. I am gonna run myself because I need to get cleaned up for that meeting so that I look more like a actual professional than just a content creator going, "Hey, what's this?" Right? All right. I will do this again. I like it. I love it, in fact. Have a good day. And remember, stay savage.